but of course there's always, you know, the course and like the YouTube video and stuff if you guys really want to dig deeper into it, right? So maybe start with weekly here. Okay, hopefully I have my, oh, I don't have my hotkey set up. That's okay. I guess I could just type it in. So we'll start with weekly. And yeah, if you guys have questions or anything as I go through it, like feel free to ask in the chat. But I'm going to try to explain this, you know, pretty quickly too, right? I don't want to spend too much time going over like the higher time frame stuff. Rather, we actually spend some time back testing, kind of like last time. So we'll start with weekly. Okay, so I'm just going to mark out kind of this rough weekly supply zone, including the window of imbalance. We know that we're in this larger range. Okay, so between like the last, you know, couple months of price action that we had here, we're kind of ranging, right? We're not really showing much bullish intent, and then at the same time we're not really showing much bearish intent either. It's just literally in a large range. Okay, now within that we have our 4-hour daily and all of that, right? But we can see overall, okay, maybe we're reacting to this, maybe we're going to continue to push down. We have a lot of IRL, internal range liquidity here, but then we also have it kind of sitting here and here too, right? So like, I'm not overly like focused or stressed about looking at the weekly and trying to predict, oh, it's going to do this or that, because we're not position trading, right? We're not holding it for months on end or anything, right? So then we can drop down to the daily and same thing, okay? We'll just do a very, very simple look at our daily structure. Oops. I'll just quickly mark out the pivot points, all right? And then we can look at the breaks and our supply and demand zones, okay? Okay, so we're kind of like this, right? Low, high, lower, low, lower, high, right? Our pullback, it gets confirmed when you break this low. And then eventually we break above, okay? And then daily kind of looks something like this. But really, again, we're stuck within this range, right? So we're bullish overall. I'm not counting any of this as like a higher low, because again, we switched from bearish to bullish, okay? So we have like quite extended price action and daily structure on this one, okay? And then in terms of breaks, I'll just quickly mark that out. I'm trying to explain it in the most concise way that I can for you guys, but again, if you have questions about it or anything is kind of, I don't want to gloss over it either, right? Because it is really important that we mark this stuff out. But obviously, as we get lower into the time frames, and depending on like the conditions that we have, you know, we're gonna have to kind of play the order flow and stuff more on the intraday time frames, right? So we'll go into that too. Okay, so that's pretty much our daily, and then here's our structure range. We have our low or high, right? We're kind of anticipating, okay, this is technically a weak high, though we didn't establish a bullish trend. We've definitely shown bullish order flow. Now that we're in the range, whether or not we, you know, come and grab the liquidity up here, or continue up, or drop below, grab below, and then push up. Again, there's like 6 different scenarios of what can happen, right? Now, in terms of our daily zones, I'll just quickly mark that out too. Okay, we have one daily demand zone here that grabbed a bunch of resting liquidity that was sitting to the left, okay? Kind of sitting here, and even this, right? So I'll just mark out the one that's kind of like on the outside of the range, right? We had equal lows here, grabbed it, price shot up, right? What I'm also going to do is mark out the liquidity that's sitting above here, because, you know, we just want to be aware of that, right? It could get targeted. It could be used, I mean, it could create a trap, right? Like I was saying, there's just so many scenarios that can kind of happen, right? And then we have our internal daily within the weekly supply level that we have sitting here too, okay? So I'm just gonna kind of mark out this chain. We can see that we're also within this, right? And or not that we're within it, but we're close to it. If I include the imbalance, it looks like it barely tapped it, but I'm just gonna leave this daily zone kind of sitting here too, right? And I can already see, like, just at a quick glance, we're starting to form probably 4-hour bullish order flow, okay, after reacting to this daily zone. So if you kind of remember, it's just really to give you guys a refresher of the price action, and even for me too, right? Because I haven't looked at this for, what, 3 weeks now, right? Since our last call. But now we can go down to the 4-hour, right? Let me know if I'm going too quick, by the way, guys. Hopefully you guys are able to keep up with what I'm saying here. Now for the 4-hour, okay, as I mentioned, right, I could see it on the daily, right? We're we didn't really violate a level of supply until this, but these internal levels of probably 15-minute or hourly supply are starting to get violated. And then same with this, right? And demand's starting to show that it looks like it wants to hold, right? Now, could it grab this? Like, absolutely it could, right? Well, let's quickly mark out our 4 hour. We'll just do, again, a pretty simple look at our 4 hour swing structure. And then we can start digging into the order flow that we see, or that we saw back here, and in more recent price action. Okay, so we have a low, a high, higher low, higher high. This one's pretty simple, right? There's not really much up for debate until we get to this mess of price action. I remember from last time, right, where either we can count this or we can count it all as one leg. Okay, I think either way is correct, honestly. I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. Let's kind of see if we can continue to break it down. Thing is, this does get very rangy as well, right? So here's the thing: if we were to do it in this simplified form, obviously we're stuck within the range, right? And yes, we've shifted into bearish structure here. Okay, I'll just mark it as a 4 hour break. I'm gonna mark all our breaks really quick here. Just use this tool here. Okay, and then here's our 4 hour structure range: this high, this low, if we're gonna look at it like that. And then I think from last time, the way we decided we kind of wanted to look at it is, rather than kind of marking out, which again, I don't think this is incorrect, because we're getting like a pretty significant pullback here, right? Like, here's the way that I'm kind of looking at it: we have high, low, higher high, higher low, shift into bearish structure, pullback, creating a lower high, lower low. Okay, so that's all valid to me. Obviously the break would be here, and then we break to the upside, right? But then here's the thing: if we're going to count that, then we also have to count this, right? Because this is a pretty significant pullback, right? If we look at it compared, just using the fib tool, right, we pulled back about a third, maybe a quarter of this leg. Okay, but then we might get tricked into marking out all the order flow here. So that's kind of the only issue that I have with it. But then, what? Okay, here's the thing: I think the way that I would actually look at it is, we end up getting to the same result. I could just kind of tell this will consolidate into one leg because it's kind of messy. We don't really sweep anything in any of these pullbacks. Okay, so we have bullish price action. We obviously range for a little bit, and then what happens? Price breaks down, and we end up being bearish again anyways, right? So whatever way you want to look at it, you might be in disagreement with somebody who maybe marked it out, without these, these points, right? And they just looked at this whole thing as a bearish leg. But then ultimately it shifts bearish again once we hit this point. We break this low, right? So I don't think it's necessarily wrong. But if you're going to mark it out in the more simplified way, looking at this thing as a larger leg, then of course you're going to mark out, or at least look at, the 4 hour order flow. And you can trade counter trend to that, right? Like looking for longs. And I think that we did that on we probably did that 2 calls ago in January or whatever, right? Or it might have been early February. But anyways, what I'll do is I'm just going to finish marking out these breaks for you guys. Okay, so this is obviously the little more complicated version of it. But then, again, we've broken down, and same thing, this is our structure range if we're looking at, this version of 4 hour structure, right? I'll leave this one to the left a bit. That's our daily, and then again we have liquidity sitting up here, as well as a pool of liquidity sitting kind of at this level, which I'll quickly mark out now, but then we'll delete it afterward. And then when it comes to our actual 4 hour order flow, like I said, right, not the cleanest. It looks like it's actually kind of pushing up quite a bit. If I were gonna mark it out, right, I can mark out these ranges to kind of get a sense of, okay, these 4 hour demand levels are pretty much getting hit, right? And we can do the same here, right? That's kind of the way that I'm seeing it, though. Probably want to just simplify it a little bit like this too. Okay. I don't want to crowd the chart up too much with all these drawings, but again, I'm marking it out so you guys understand kind of what I'm looking at. We can tell that demand is holding, right? At least in the short term here for the past week or so, right? Anyways, I'm going to delete these. I'll leave this 4 hour on. I'm just going to do it like this, right? We have a window of imbalance, so that to me is worth marking out. If you guys can see, right, from here to here, So I'm going to do the window of imbalance down to the very low here, right? So that's what I'm going to use to define my level of supply. And then last thing that we'll look at here is we have this flip zone, 4-hour flip zone that got very subtly swept. Okay, so there's the demand level that failed. Okay, and then here's our 4-hour zone, right? So I'm not going to bother marking the 4-hour zone out. I mean, it looks like it swept it. There was a trap, and then price shot down. Okay, so now I think we're coming into some pretty high impact news. Okay, it's not too bad. It's not anything we can't trade, I don't think. I mean, there's probably gonna be volatility though, so that's the only thing. I'm not suggesting that you trade it, but that's pretty much a high level look at our 4-hour, or sorry, our daily R4-hour, and now we can start looking at the 15-minute, right? We covered our 4-hour order flow as well, but yeah, let's I guess let's quickly just take a quick glance at it so we remember. Okay, bullish overall, but in a range. Okay, it looks kind of messy with the 4-hour. 4-hour is bearish, but again, we're really in a larger range as well. Okay, so we don't want to forget that. We could trade longs, you could trade shorts if it makes sense to do it. Like I'm not against taking a short from this level, even though we have a ton of liquidity. Like listen, it could hold, right? But obviously we want to see it shift over, and I'm not against playing longs from this 4-hour either, right? But ideally I want to see sweeps happen too, right? Because here's the thing that I'm kind of seeing as well. So just building liquidity on both sides, right? So, Billy, I'm gonna mute you, Billy, just because it's speech jamming me. I can hear myself echoing. I didn't mute you for everyone else though, so just message me if you want me to personally unmute you. It's all good. It's all good. I'll unmute you now. I don't know if you guys have ever been speech jammed before, but it's kind of trippy. It makes you stumble over your words. Anyways, yeah. So let's drop down to the 15-minute now, and we can start actually like analyzing the intraday. We'll get into London and New York a little bit here. I think the way I had it set was SB London. So we're already at London session actually. So let's just take a glance. Let's scroll out for a second. Just observe where we're at. Okay. Again, if we can see the 4-hour, then we can kind of get a sense of, or with the 15-minute time frame, we can kind of see, we have a little bit more granularity to work with, right? Again, we swept here. It looks like we have this larger demand range, right? Obviously on the 15-minute, it's a range, right? But on the 4-hour, it's that larger like level of demand that we're kind of looking at. But then when we look intraday, we can start seeing that. Okay, first of all, obviously this news has caused a big push from its release. So I'm just gonna go 5-minute here, and we can start playing through it. I think overall, I don't really see anything at. I mean, we're at Frankfurt open right now. It looks like, unless I have the time. No, that looks right. It's interesting. Okay, so it looks like it released an hour before open. That I guess makes sense. Okay, so we're coming off of a lot of volatility from the news. Now, would I have shorted any of this? No, not really. Like, I don't see a reason to do it. I don't want to just throw a trade on for no reason, right? So, to kind of like speak to what Daniel was talking about before, and I think Marcus was talking about this too, I kind of want to look for some sort of 15-minute order flow, or even 5-minute order flow. If price is compressed enough, that makes sense to me, and then I'm going to start looking either on the 5-minute or 1-minute for trade opportunities, right? But until that happens, you kind of got to wait and just see if there is, anything good developing. Okay. So right now we can see we're starting to tap into the 4-hour. We haven't gone very deep into it, so I'm not all that convinced. And until we like violate a level of supply, really, I just won't touch it. And I'm not interested in shorting it either. I don't think anybody here would short it either, because we're in a demand zone. Not to say that I haven't done that before, but okay, there you go. See, it's grabbing it again. So this is not bad. Excuse me. Let's maybe wait until like retail sales hit before we even try to like look for anything, because again, this could cause like a huge spike in volatility, and we don't really want to mess with that, right? Okay, we're getting deeper and deeper into this 4-hour zone, right? Okay, so we'll just keep playing through it. We're now at almost New York Open. News will be in 30 minutes. And let's see if we can sort of shift up maybe. Oh. And there's news, okay. So news completely grabbed the liquidity from beneath this 4-hour zone. That's fine. Let's let it keep playing out. Doesn't look like we should really long anymore. If anything, now that we've broken down, again, I want to see some sort of supply fail, right? Whether it's, you know, one of these levels here, and then price maybe do this in the form of a trap, or we stay out, because I really don't see anything that's all that convincing as a POI to short off of, right? I'm not against doing it again, but it's looking like there's not going to be much time left. Like we're an hour to 11, okay? And again, I don't really see anything here. Hey Shane, no, you're all good, man. You actually didn't miss much. We just finished up structure, and we're just now back testing. Okay, so before I continue, I want to ask you guys, right? Do you guys see any setups here? I think we can all collectively agree. I mean, unless you do, like, point it out to me. But do we all collectively agree that there aren't really any setups? Like, are you guys going to go and try shorting any of this? Because I personally would not touch this.
Yeah, me neither, because we don't have an order flow shift, a nice one.
No, we definitely don't. It's good. We avoided taking longs. That was kind of the idea I wanted. And yeah, here's that 4-hour order flow shift. So I'll just mark that as a 15-minute break, right? But yeah, here's the thing. I don't want to chase shorts either when we don't even have like a good quality zone that's, you know, sweeping something, right?
No.
Cold, you're right. I mean, that's why we're not looking at not really looking at shorts either. It would be chasing it for sure. We'll go back to the 15-minute and take a look. Okay, cool. So that's a sit out kind of day. Maybe on EU, or if you trade like the indices NAS or Dow, there would have been an opportunity, right? You don't have to just trade one pair. Most people trade two, right? I think everybody here trades at least 2 pairs. Am I wrong? Unless you're just learning, which is okay too. So I'm gonna go to the next one. We'll do there we go. Okay, perfect. So that worked out well. So here, let's adjust this a little bit, right? We go back to the 4-hour and kind of get a sense of where we're at. So this ended up getting used as liquidity. Okay. So our 4-hour zone down here is finally got tapped into, right? And we've shifted order flow. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of like, I'll keep the break here, the 15-minute break, but I'm also viewing this as, okay, we've grabbed liquidity. So essentially we were thinking of doing it too, right? Trying to take a long here. Those people got trapped trying to do that. So it's a good thing we didn't, you know, fall for it. Though I didn't see any shifts anyway, so it doesn't matter. We wouldn't have touched it, right? There's no way in hell I would have touched that. 4-hour zone. Okay, we're tapping into this, but again, overall, what are we? We're bearish, right? No matter what way you marked out 4-hour, our expectation order flow is bearish. We expect that this low is going to get taken, okay? Even though it's just a shift, right? Now, a counterpoint to that, we are in like a daily zone at the edge of the larger overall range. So this could hold too, okay? So, I mean, if we want to play counter trend, we can. Just got to accept that we're playing counter trend, right? And counter order flow, technically, to the 4-hour, okay? So, let's go back to the 15-minute and let's just look at intraday again, kind of see what's happening here. It looks like we've started to shift into 15-minute bullish order flow, though I don't know if I would necessarily trust any of this. Let's wait a little bit. I'm just gonna mark out where Asia range is, and we'll let it play out a little bit. Okay, so there's 3 a.m. Which is 8 London, so London open, kind of pushing up. Let me just see something on the 4-hour here. Again, I don't really want to grasp at straws or anything. I don't really... No. I mean, we have a 1 hour supply zone, but I mean, to say that this is, you know, going to hold, it's not even really a flip zone, right? I mean, it's really not. I'm even looking at like, okay, do we have a window of imbalance? It doesn't even touch that. So let's just leave that. That's grasping at straws to me. And I don't want to just reverse rationalize trying to take a short for no reason, right?
Coldwater.
Yep. What's up?
Question. The green box is New York, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So, for example, but there you see, you have an inside candle. Well, you have a candle that mitigates deeper into the zone. Go one more left. Yeah, that one. You have a candle that mitigates deeper the zone, then price it taps into that candle and react. Yeah, that
here.
one.
Yeah.
Then you have that small that invalidates that supply zone. The 50 minutes?
Which one? Which 50 minutes? Oh, you mean like these?
No, go down. Go to the left. Right in the middle of New York.
Oh, here. I see.
Yeah. You see, you have a candle that mitigates deeper. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
It's deeper. Price react from that candle to the left, and then fails that candle, and then price just shift bullish.
Yeah, I mean, the way that
You
I'm
see?
interpreting this is, I mean, supply is getting violated, right? But yeah, I mean, it did tap in a few times, right? We were kind of looking at that before. Are you asking whether I'd touch it though? I wouldn't touch this, but it's just too late.
Oh, you wouldn't. Oh, but for example, if it's right in New York and you have that flip, will you try to look for entries in that point, maybe on the 5 minute or straight from the 15?
Yeah, potentially, and I've done that before too. But I don't think there's. I wouldn't do it here, not on the first, because not on the first mitigation, right? Because to me, this is not really a supply level to me. It's just it's too weak, right? On the other hand, if I see it makes a floor, and then it violates supply again, and then retests it, then sure, right? But this is all in spread hours that this happened, so you know, the timing is pretty important for context, right?
Yep.
I don't want to just.
So you wait for the confirmation shift.
Yeah, it definitely I definitely wait for confirmation if it's counter trend, and okay, I always show you guys this example. I'll show you this example again, Daniel. Right, if so pretend that we're bullish, right, and we want to look for, or sorry, you know what? Let me do bearish. This is just to copy this example, right? If we're bearish, right, usually what happens, and I'll do like this too. Usually what happens is, if we're going to look for a counter trend trade, it's going to violate some level of supply, and it's going to retest a few times, right, before actually going. That's typical of counter trend, right? And of course, with 4 hour being bearish because it was, you know, low, lower high, lower low, right? And we're expecting this to be, you know, a weak low if we're looking at swing structure. For us to trade the counter trend bullish order flow in this pullback phase, we get a lot of chances to enter, right? And then we just look to TP kind of somewhere around here, right? We take a small type of trade, right? Whereas when we're looking at pro trend, right, when there's a lot of volatility, what happens a lot of the time is it'll break and it never comes back, right? Or if it does come back, this is why I don't really touch extremes in pro trend. Not that it doesn't happen, but I notice what will happen a lot of the time. This price will just go, right? Sometimes it doesn't even come back. It just does this. And you have to try to find a continuation before it drops too far, right? So
that was the sale idea for today.
Yeah, I mean, if it were a New York session, for sure we could have played it, but literally during spread hours, so spread's way too high for that, right? I like trading when there's more volatility. Of course, I think everybody does. You don't want to be sitting in a trade that's just going back and forth for hours, right? But let's see what happens. Maybe we'll get a long opportunity here, right? I don't think we have any news. But here's the thing: I wouldn't go and chase this really either. Not at this time. Let me wait a bit. Because there's a lot of like internal range liquidity sitting here too, right? So just got to be careful of that. Let's see. So I'll just play through it. Now we're getting into London lull. Okay. Yeah, it's just ranging, it looks like. It's not a very volatile day. It looks like we're starting to actually shift a little bit. So we violated this level, but this level of demand is still holding. So let's see. Oh, okay. Okay, so there's some news here that wasn't, because for 830 to be volatile like that, I don't know why I did that. That's very volatile. But anyways, see what I mean? We ended up grabbing it. A lot of the time it's short-lived. Like, I'm not saying you can't take, like, again, if this was were a New York session, you just long it and you take like maybe 3-4 R out of it, maybe 2-3 R, right? That's okay. That's why we don't want to chase it too much. Remember, it's counter trend, right? It's not gonna. It's like it's unlikely that it's just gonna continue doing this forever, right? That doesn't really happen. It does this and then it ends up breaking down. So we're always like prepared for that, right? And we want to take our profit and go break even early on counter trend trades that have like much more rangy price action, right? Okay, let's see if there's any other like setup that we can find here. Looks like it's pulling back. We're still within the 4-hour zone, so that's cool. We ended up grabbing this liquidity. And we kind of have this chain that's set up here too. So I'll just mark that out. And that kind of grabs something. It's very subtle though. I don't like love it, right? And then we're at 11 now. We're coming back. Yeah, I can't say for certain. I mean, you can never say for certain, but again, I don't see anything clear here. So we just stay out again. What do you guys think? Do you guys see anything from this day? So our whole session was this, right? Because nobody here would have shorted this. I know that. I wouldn't. And then maybe one of you would have longed this, but then there was news, so you would have avoided it anyways. So we sit on our hands on that one, I think. It's all February.
Coldwater.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you short the last level of supply over there after the mitigation and break of internal structure?
So you talking about this one or this one?
The one below that, yeah.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
So I was actually looking at it. That's why I marked it out, because obviously it's part of the chain. I would, but look what time it is. It's spread hours, right? And we haven't even come up to it yet. So let's see. Maybe we'll range, right? Like I don't know. It's possible that like price will come back to it in London the next day. Let's see. It's definitely on my radar. Oh, it doesn't come back to it. Okay, it's fine. So let's take a look at 4 hour again, because we've now pushed out of all of this, right? And we've broken structure to the downside, because we've closed below it, right? Not by much, but like I'm gonna assume that this is gonna continue to push lower. We're gonna see what happens. We're still in the larger overall daily too, okay? So let's keep that in mind, right? This daily demand level. Who knows? This like, because we're still within this range, this could hold. There's absolutely a chance of that too, right? But now we've established 4 hour what? Bearish swing structure, okay? You guys can see that, right? Based on what I've marked out. And again, if you did it the simplified way, right? With the wider like structure legs, then we'd just be in this still bearish, right? Expecting this low to go. But let's see. I mean, there's a few ways we can interpret it, right? This could also be a sweep, right? We haven't really closed that far below it yet. And then we also have a nested 4 hour zone sitting here, but I'm going to show you guys something in a second. You're probably thinking the same thing. You have a window of imbalance that's kind of sitting here too, okay? So technically we kind of tapped into all of that. I'm just going to leave it right here though. Let's see if price, oh, it actually did tap into it already. Okay, because obviously here's the thing. I'm not going to like go like this, right? It gets a little bit messy. It's not that far off from the daily. So I'm just gonna leave it down here, and we can see that it basically pushed lower, right? And I'll move daily over to the left a bit so we're not so crowded. We can go back to the 50-minute and take a look. So far, again, I'm not seeing much. Yeah, I don't want to force anything, right? We're up 8R in about a month and 2/3. So let's just protect our capital for now rather than forcing something. Okay, we've gone deeper into it. At this point, I think to try to chase shorts would not be the best idea. But, you know, definitely thinking it a little bit too. I'm not gonna like fall into that trap, right? If anything, let's just wait for a shift to the upside. We can try to catch a reversal, right? Or it could even just be a pullback, like I was saying before. We don't know. Excuse me. I mean, what do you guys think?
Sure.
Thanks. Again, until we... I want to see something break here. So, like, it has to give me something, right? Otherwise... I'm just raging again. It's a slow day. Okay. Okay, that's a good sign. Okay, cool. So now... What do you guys think? Right?
Yeah. And what about that one? The decisional.
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could. Doesn't really sweep anything. So this is where I would start looking at the 5-minute to see if it does, right? Okay, so was that Daniel talking?
Yeah.
So Daniel, remember what I was saying when I was drawing with like the green line, the kind of diagram?
Yep.
Remember we're counter trend, right? So based on my rules, okay, I would not, like, again, I'll draw it out, right? Based on my rules, I'm not gonna go and we've broken this supply level, right? And we'll say that we have like a flip here and stuff. Well, again, what typically happens when we're counter trend? Price is gonna do this, right? A few times, and we're just gonna try to like capture the movement from here to here or here to here, right? Our stop loss is somewhere like this, and TP here, or even earlier, right? Break even maybe at 1R or like 2R or something, right? If we want to be really safe.
Okay.
I'm okay with marking out the decision level, but just be aware that it's very likely it's going to get used as liquidity. Okay, that's the only thing I'm trying to make a point out of here, right? But let's see. That's not always the case, but like typically, like I said, I mean, there's a lot of volatility behind it too, right? So, you know, again, sometimes you'll see price action do this thing where, like you're saying, you know, it'll come into a zone, whatever, right? And it'll start to break up, and then it just sometimes goes, and it doesn't ever come back to even grab any of the liquidity that's sitting here, right? So it's possible. Let's see what happens. Wow, it's very actually very volatile. A lot of movement. Now, that being said, so one thing to sort of like support, you know, what you're saying, Daniel, I'm guessing you do want to we want to maybe look for something here. Again, it does grab liquidity on the 5-minute, so it's not the worst zone, but just know that this is a riskier level to play off of if we are going to play it, right?
Okay.
So I'll let you guys decide. What do you guys think? Do you guys want to take this, or do you want to wait until, you know, we grab liquidity, come into the zone? What do you guys want to do? You could see the chat.
I think I'll wait till he takes the liquidity in the decisional flip.
Okay.
POI.
Okay, so let's wait then. Yeah, I mean, we have a little bit of imbalance and stuff here too. But listen, Daniel, I don't want to say like you're wrong either, because there's a chance it could work, right? Like, there's always a chance it could work. It's a matter of if you can play or like prove that, like, you know, there's a bunch of these setups that happen that are kind of worth taking, right, in the long term.
Right.
It doesn't even look like it tapped it. Okay, it looks like it's just continuing actually. So nobody would have gotten filled on this one. It is better now. Yeah, I agree. There's inducement. But look, the minute we start breaking this, it's like I'd probably be looking at like this one. Or I actually wouldn't even touch it, and not even because of the time. Like, forget the time for a second, right? The time of day we are, whether or not we're in session. We have too many like zones to pick off of now, right? We have literally 4 zones, right? Now, like, I'm not saying that you would necessarily trade off of this one, but that's 4 ways that we could potentially lose. Okay, that's how I'm seeing it. So sometimes you just gotta let it go without us. That's fine. Yeah, there's no setup here. At least we were all kind of thinking it though, right? So we agree on like the direction, so we can kind of pat ourselves on the back for that, right? Let's go to the next one. Look at the 4 hour again. Okay. So now we're in a 4 hour zone though. Supply level, right? So maybe we look for a pro trend short. It doesn't really grab any liquidity, so it's not the greatest zone. Remember, it could be targeted too. Okay, so we're gonna be aware of that. I'm gonna go back on the 15 and we're gonna take a look. Let's see. Yeah, so far nothing. Just gonna grab this. Let's just see something here. Now, I'm not saying that I would long off of this, but I just want to see if it does. It doesn't mean I'm going to trade it. Because potentially what we could see happen here is price continue to just push up through all of this now. It looks like it's resting after this big push, right? Let's see. So even if we had set a limit, we didn't have got tagged in on that anyways, looks like. This isn't the worst level to try to long off of. But again, there is risk, right? Like, you have zones underneath. You have liquidity built up here. And it's Asia's low too. So I mean, we could take it. We could try. What do you guys think? Right? It's I mean, what do you guys think? Gabriel says no. Is there anybody that would take this?
Me neither, no.
No?
If we mitigate it and then have a M5 autoflow shift, then maybe, yeah, but then otherwise, no.
Okay, I was gonna ask. Finn just brought it up. Would you rather short? It's not even about it being a break so much, Mega Man. It's just kind of following the order flow, but it is chasing it, right? And we are in a 4 hour zone, so we could short it too. But I would probably wait for a floor with how like rangy price action is. Let's see. Let me look at 4 hour again. I don't love this zone, Finn, but it seems like no. Yeah, I think we all kind of agree. Okay, Finn, you would rather short. Everybody else is like, no, we don't want to long at all. Does anybody else want to short? Oh, Mega Man. Oh, Marcus, you're saying you want to short too? I can't see who that is. Sorry, it's your name is redacted because I'm in streamer mode. Okay, you know what? Let's stay out then. Let's see. Okay, let's just pretend I took it. It would have tagged me in. Getting a little bit of movement. Let's see what New York session does. I would go break even here. So let's see. Because again, it's counter trend, right? I'm basically going break even where Finn would have his limit set. Okay, so here, I'll just do this. We'll do a mock trade on it, but I don't love that it's just still ranging. There's not actually much happening here, right? You could always hedge it, but the risk of hedging something like this too is like it could sweep both sides and you get really screwed. You take 2 losses just like that. Done for the day, right? Okay, it would not be break even yet. Will we ever get break even? It's 10 a.m. already. Wow, this is a pretty bad day. Okay, if we're this late and it's almost okay, let's see, at 1 I would pull this order off either for 1 hour or like go break even already because we're getting too close to time where price is just probably gonna range, right? So Fin, it doesn't look like. Yeah, see, we're at spreaders. Fins would have never got tagged in. I would have probably just closed it for 1 hour or something. So not much to trade there, guys. That's just the reality of trading sometimes. There's no opportunities. Yeah, wow. I'm really surprised it did not do anything. That means we must be in for a pretty big day, or news. Oh yeah, that's why. There you go. So we have S&P, SIP services, PMI. All right. Let's see. Definitely don't want to. Is this restricted? I'm not even really familiar with this. Does anybody know? Because I don't trade London anymore. I don't ever even like remember encountering this. Is this a restricted event, guys? Do you guys know? Somebody check on. I mean, how would you check though? Oh, maybe last month we had it, right? I don't know. Let's just assume that this is gonna be. I just always assume like the worst out of news. So let's see this next day. We're still within this 4 hour zone. If anything, we could try to predict kind of like what news is gonna do, but we're not gonna touch it. Okay. I'm gonna mark out this 4 hour zone that we've developed now up to our window of imbalance. You can go up to here. Actually, I'll leave it at this level because we do have a really clear one here. There's technically a window of imbalance here too, but I'm not gonna mark that out. Looks like we're building a range again, eh? Ooh, whoops. Sorry guys, hold on. Let me go back to hold on, let me share my screen again. Sorry about that. He got blinded. FX replay, where are you? Okay, can you guys see?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let's go back to 15-minute. And we will go to. Wow. Okay, it's just still ranging. We have not broken out of this range. We wouldn't have even tagged Finn's short limit order yet. Nuts. This is definitely okay. What do you guys think is gonna happen with news? I think I know, or I have like an idea. Let's have a vote.
I think it's going to the 4 hour to sweep kind of the.
This one?
Yeah, to the 4 hour and then week to the upside to take all that buy liquidity.
Yeah. I think it's gonna. I think it's just gonna shit through all of it, to be honest. But let's see. I don't know. Finn says wick up then down. Okay, so me and Finn kind of agree. I don't think it's gonna wick up. I think it's just gonna grab. Let's see. It doesn't really matter. We're not looking to trade it, right? But okay, starting to push down. Interesting. Wouldn't count that. So I would count wicking up as like sweeping at least like this high here, if it done like this. But let's see. Here's news. Composite PMI. Okay, so let's see. Oh, it went up. Never mind. Holy shit! And it didn't even tap the 4 hour. Hold on. Let's see something. Did it tap into this 4 hour window of imbalance? No, it didn't. Holy crap! Yeah, I mean,
It just swept the
that's nice. It's always surprising, right? You guys are never like unfazed by that movement. I don't think anybody is. There's just no liquidity. So price just jumps.
Yeah, and if you see, you have marked the liquidity for
This,
new.
yeah, this, right?
No, the middle zone that goes like deeper to the right.
All of these?
No, in the middle. In the middle.
Oh, here. Sorry. And this one too, right?
That one, yeah.
Yeah,
That one is just liquidity.
nice. Yeah, so it looks like we were kind of plagued by news setting up the past few days here. So again, not really anything we could trade because we had news this day, right, at 8:30. And then from there, it's just no entries. I mean, it's kind of tough. Again, I don't want to force anything. I'm starting to get like an itchy trigger finger here a little bit, but like that's not good, right? We gotta wait. You guys are good about being patient, it seems like. Hopefully we're still learning something here. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at 4 hour again. And let's just start marking out some of these levels here too. Okay, I'm just gonna mark this larger 4 hour range out. Just do 4H. Sorry, give me a sec, guys. So, sip of water there, or tea. Okay, so yeah, we obviously also shifted order flow to the upside too. Okay, so that's another thing. I don't know if I would actually count this as a break now that I'm looking at it. So here's the other thing, right? Here is our last structure range, and this is the amount that we close below it. Okay, this is like I could fit 20 of these. Okay, this is how I do it. I could fit 20 of these into this range. So I'm not counting this as a break anymore. I'm counting this as a sweep. And we kind of talked about that earlier, right? Whoops.
Yeah.
Sorry. We'll just delete this. We'll delete this. Okay, so this is a sweep, and I mean, looks like we're headed bullish now. And we're still in a range though. I wish there was better price action here, but let's just keep trying. Trying to work with what we have here. Okay, we'll go 15 minute. Let's see. Now that we're like post news, right? It's very likely this is just gonna range though, so I'm not expecting too much. If you guys see anything, just stop me. Feel free to stop me. Let me see this 4 hour again. And 1H. So it's not great. Like I would like price to obviously like trek deeper into this massive 4 hour zone, but we don't know if we're gonna get that. Right now we just have demand holding. Okay. Oh, their demand failed.
And you have a supply zone from the
now we do, yeah. So again, let's look at our 4 hour and just like take a look and then see what's happening here. We're still bearish, but we're ranging. We're kind of in the middle of this range though. But we could try to short. I just don't know if this is high is gonna hold, to be honest. What do you guys think? Yeah, I have a feeling it's just building up. Because we did get, a couple of demand failures here, right? What do you guys think?
I would probably just be looking for shorts there because I have the backup for a 4 hour.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
You move from news.
Yeah. So how about, okay, so Gabriel's asking after confirmation. So do you want to see a floor, Gabriel? And Daniel, are you looking for a floor too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would probably.
So why don't we do I actually like that idea. Then I would also look at it. So there you go. It started to tap it. Now let's go to the 5 minutes. See how 15 minutes compress too much? It's hard to read it, right? Now we can drop to the 5 minute and actually analyze this a little bit better. Okay, so this is that 15 minute zone. And we kind of have this 5 minute zone here too, right? So here's our chain. Let's see if we can keep on breaking below. I want to see us break this level of demand here. It's kind of crude, but you kind of see it, right? I'll just delete this. We'll mark this as a sweep so far. If we can break below this, because this grab liquidity and it's part of the chain, we can throw a limit on. Okay, well it didn't break, right?
Oh.
Okay, so we just avoided a loss. That's really good. I like that everybody had the same idea though on that. That's good. That's good. No, there's no reason to put F in chat, Gabriel. This is good that we avoided it. Trust me. It's that would have not been a fun. Like had we forced this and we took a loss, you'd be pretty annoyed. I think anybody would be annoyed at that, right? Because then you'd be like, oh, I didn't wait for some sort of like floor or confirmation, right? Just liquidity grab.
Using that floor confirmation is huge.
Yeah. Well, let's go back on the 15 again. If anything, could maybe look for longs.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, but oh, look at the time again. Killing you with
On the M5, we had a floor, but we haven't reacted out of an M15 zone, so
Yeah, no, it's that's the thing.
need a new
It's-
water flow shift within that zone.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. Is the
Uh,
thing. Oh, you're talking about this one, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the previous one before broke the previous M5 structure, but since we haven't reacted out of a M15 demand, you wouldn't count that.
So here's the reason. Let me just explain. Right, we just picked
Mhm.
it. You're not wrong. Like, yeah, it obviously violated the supply level, but it didn't do much. It didn't even wick it a lot. If it wicked it a lot, like, then I'd be like, sure, right? Then we could have maybe longed off of that. That actually would have been a good trade if it had done that. But I mean, it doesn't even really matter, right? Like, it's gonna play out the way it's gonna play out, right?
Mm.
It's a weird situation, to be honest. But you're right. And again, not in a 15-minute zone. But you know how I am though. Like, Marcus, it doesn't have to be in a 15-minute zone, right? It could be like, it could be coming off of a 15-minute zone from before, kind of like this. Like, let me draw it. If this is our 15-minute zone, okay, price came off of it, and then we come into it, and okay, it doesn't come back, right? Like, that's our floor, right?
Yeah.
And then price kind of pushes up again and sets up again, sweeps some sort of liquidity, maybe off of like a flip, I don't know. Like, we can play this, right? As long as there's some sort of liquidity or something, right?
No,
Sometimes
true.
there's not, but like, there's nothing wrong with chasing as long as there's a nice continuation setup, right? And it could do it again here too, right? Like, maybe it. I mean, I'm kind of drawing a range now, but let me. Right, if it does that, then we could take this, right?
No.
Does that make sense? Until it gets too far away.
Thanks.
Like, the minute we start getting into a 4-hour zone or something, then it's like, then we stop doing that, because it's kind of risky, right? Okay, let's see. Yeah, we're at the end of the New York session here, so there's nothing to really trade. But let's see. See if it taps back into this during spread hours. I don't know. It's possible, right? It's not really much, guys. We did come deeper into the 4-hour. Let me look at the 4-hour again. Oh, okay, this time we actually filled this imbalance out. So I'll just adjust this a little bit to clean it up. But that's a good sign to me. We've tapped into that. Again, we could look for pro trend shorts. It's very possible it's going to go even deeper, but you see how it tried to fake us out? So that to me is a good sign that we kind of have it's just inducement, right? Let's go to the next day. Let's see. I feel like we've gone through 7 days of price action. We've not taken a single trade. That's okay. We'll keep it pushing a little bit. Is this a Wednesday? We have news at... Oh, we have FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay, good to know. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, we didn't lose money either. Exactly. We kind of covered our risk here. I'm just going to mark out kind of this liquidity that's building up on both sides. Let's see. I don't really want to look for longs here. Again, we're on the 15-minute, right? But we might have to. I don't know. Let's see if demand fails here. Okay, and it does. So, what do you guys think? We could long, but I don't think it's really the best idea. If anything, I'd actually be more interested in shorts right now. So we kind of built up this nice chain. Look at the 5-minute really quick here. We can play both sides even. What do you guys think? Long are still valid for Finn. Okay.
Yeah, for me too. But only if you have an M5 auto flow shift within the zone.
Okay. And shorts would be valid for me. Yeah, I would take shorts here. I think it's worth the risk of taking. We'll see. Let's see if we get a 5-minute shift or even a 1-minute shift. I don't know. Finn, do you trade the 1 minute? Just remind me, because I don't remember who trades what. You trade the 5-minute, right? The extreme would have to fail 5 minute and 15 only. Okay. So let's wait for a shift though. Or we could just long it, honestly, because it is pro. It's weird. We're in a range actually. I don't know if we're really pro order flow. I guess let's wait. Let's see if we can get this 5-minute level to get violated. Oh, we swept. Okay. So what do you guys think?
Now I'm starting to like it.
It's a little better.
But the way he closed, yeah, a little bit, but the way he closed, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I'd wait for a floor.
It's just like it's worse than that even, right? So
yeah.
Okay, let's wait for a floor. You're right. Because look, we swept multiple times too, right?
Yeah.
Let me just adjust this a little bit. Make it clean. Oh, and it's swept again. Jeez, okay. Okay, so this is not bad. You know what it's doing, right?
It's sweeping highs and lows.
It's doing one of these. So
I got trapped like last week from that.
Listen, if it's doing that, it's pretty simple. I have a simple solution for you guys. Well, and I'll do it on the 5-minute. We're gonna take this, okay? All we're gonna do is I'll even take it like this. I'm gonna give it buffer though, okay? Because maybe it'll sweep again, but like we stand a good chance of like, and at 1 hour we can go break even if this high breaks. Let's see if we get tagged in. Oh, okay. Hopefully, did I do 1%? Yeah, I did. Come on, come on, come on. Wow, really? Okay, well I'm gonna pull it off now.
Would do the same, yeah.
Yeah. Now shorts. I like the chain, so we will do a risk. It's not even really a risk entry to me because we have a floor back here, and now we're just playing the rest of the chain. What I will do though is cover the high a little bit because I don't know. Whoops, I keep doing the wrong one. I'm gonna remove this one actually so we clear this up.
Yeah.
Now the question is where I want to throw my actual order. Let me see the 15-minute.
Oh, there's no liquidity in the leg. What we
No, but we swept.
We swept this.
We swept here. We swept this.
Yeah.
And the risk is that we get swept out, but that's okay. You know, I'll leave it at the 75 of this because this is a pretty big range. It's 13 pip stop, right? And then worst case, we're pro trend from what I remember. Let's see. Let me just double check that. Yeah, we're pro trend. Yeah. We're counter order flow. But then we're pro 15-minute order flow. So kinda.
If you look on the M5. There would be like one candle within the leg, the previous one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whitish candle. I wanted to see this swept and would place my order on that one.
And then cover higher, right? Like
a little bit, yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Put it right at the tip. Let's give it even more room though, actually, because you know how this sometimes will get swept.
Yeah.
So I'll put it right around here. It's a little arbitrary, but I'm just kind of like eyeball it. Like, okay, it makes sense to me. All right, let's see. This one, yes, Finn. This is counter order flow, but it is pro like around the 4 hour, but it's pro 4 hour trend, and we had a fake out happen on the 4 hours, so I'm just playing the chain. And to me, this is we had demand get violated. This is a weird one. Ultimately, we're playing kind of the edge of the range. Oh my god, it tapped us. Just tapped us. And we're pro trend, so we could just. Yeah, that was a good call.
Just there, oh man.
Now break even. Let me think. I'm pretty like. I like going break even early.
Yeah, on the equal lows.
Yeah.
Within the leg. I'd break even for sure.
I might even go break even at 2R. Let's see. Because I don't want to get swept out.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is not looking good. What are we at now? 2R.
2R. Yeah, that's 2R.
Let's do it, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. Like it is possible that it's gonna come back and then drop again, but I don't want to find out. I'm okay with taking a break even. You just gotta protect yourself a little bit. It is pro trend though, but look what we're dealing with. We have a range. Okay, so okay, nice. So we would have break even anyways. Now, okay, in terms of targeting, could target this. What do you guys think? What time is this? 11? Oh, we have news. We gotta cut this thing short. Should we ride it out a little bit, or should we just close it now?
On how much are we currently?
4.
Maybe if it's possible to get 5 hour out before news are hitting, I'd close it.
I would just close like the 80% and just let it run. The rest.
Well, I wouldn't hold it through news though.
No, me neither.
I'm just gonna close it actually.
Those 80? 80?
No, okay. No 80. Because how do I know that price is not gonna just take it all back, right?
True, yeah.
Look, it's already pulling back. I don't like that. Okay, let's see what this does. Wow, it did nothing. That's okay. I'm happy with 4R. That was a pretty good trade.
Yeah.
Good call, with setting the limit though.
I love this play with like the because there was no liquidity on the M15, and I was like, okay, then probably he wants to take some, even though he took some on the M15, and then I'm like, okay, take the M5 high.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Finn, you'd close that too, right? Shane, take it easy. Thanks for joining us, man. You caught the best part of the call, to be honest.
Yeah.
True.
You didn't have to sit through the structure stuff. I know some of you guys like the structure stuff. It's just, I bet it's boring for some of you too. You guys are good at structure, right? But okay, let's do one more. How long have we been on here for? Let me just check the recording.
Hour and 20.
It's been an hour since I actually started backtesting. So we'll do one more. I don't want to stretch this out too long. Plus, we made our R already on this session. It's pretty good. We're still in February actually, so hey, this is pretty good, right? We're averaging about 6R a month right now. That's pretty impressive, not gonna lie. Okay, we'll do one more day and then we'll wrap it up because it's really nice out. Really nice outside. I want to go outside.
Like 1, 2, 3. That will be the 4th.
What's that? Oh, what chain?
Like on the top chain, it's now the third one.
No way, I'm touching.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't touch it. But it's like the 4th now, and I recognized after like 4 taps, like 3 taps are mostly like he's still going into that, but after the 4th, 5th, it's getting too weak.
Yeah, there's no chance. Like, if anything, we can target it. But I also have been burnt trying to target.
Yeah.
Levels too. So excuse me. Let's see.
Okay, that's nice. Actually,
for long.
Don't like the close. No.
No, short.
Oh, for short, yeah.
But I don't like the close.
Let's give it a second. We're still working with the same. So now we're getting into like, rather than us going reversal off of this level, now we can look at continuations short, right?
Yeah. Okay,
it's very interesting because this is pro trend and look what it's doing. It's very rangy, right? Oh, we have GBP, that's why. Maybe. Okay, you want to probably look at this level here, right? Oops.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Maybe we'll get something nice. It's not bad. It's not bad.
But okay, so we're still pro H4, but I don't like that holds.
This?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're
depending on.
Yeah, but It could just be that it's a CPB, right?
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know that for sure. Oh, it's coming back. Okay, let's see. Hey, everybody here wants to short, right?
Yeah.
You guys are pretty good at this, eh? Like, I feel like... Oh, wow.
Okay.
So that was news. That was news.
Yeah. We had a rapid move to the downside, followed by a trickling move to the upside. So currently we're in the pullback phase into the M15. We already tap it due to news.
Yeah. But it didn't tap it very much. I mean, also the way I marked it out is kind of... It's tough, right? Let's look at the 5 minute. Oh, man. It's really messy.
Chain.
If anything, we could... We could hedge long and short on this if you guys want. Like, we can long here, and then maybe we short here too. What do you think? Because I do think...
What happened if you try to check the 30 minutes just to clean that 15 minute zone? Maybe?
Yeah, that's a good idea. It ends up being pretty much the same. So here's the thing. Here's how I adjust my zone sometimes. If I see, like Daniel, if I see like a level of like liquidity that kind of builds up in local price action, the price action right in front of us, I'll just say, okay, from this level to the high, right? Because to me, it's like, okay, if it's going to tap back into this, it's very likely it's going to grab this, right? It's not just going to... I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's not going to just do this most of the time, right? It's going to do this. I want something to grab. And there's definitely, like, stop losses sitting up here and stop limit buy orders. Just like there are here too, right? So that's the risk of it. But what I do like is that we grab Asia's liquidity, we drop, we violate demand. Okay, so there's a lot of like nice things kind of happening here. Okay, if we're gonna take this long, I'm gonna go like break even at 1R. I'm just gonna enter market on this actually. And what I'll do is actually cover this low too, just to be safe, because there's a chance, and I've seen this happen so many times where it'll grab this and go. Okay, so let's just cover, and I'm even gonna cover under here a little bit too. Go like this, and our target. Oh, it's not even much. Well, we'll hold it. We'll see. Like, because this could get violated too. This is why we're gonna hedge it, right? So we'll go 1R. I'm gonna give it a little bit of room. Okay, let's go break even. Okay, so you see what I did, guys? It's counter trend, obviously, right? Like, this is doing the thing again I'm talking about, where we're in a 15-minute zone. And what is it doing? It's just starting to build 15-minute bullish order flow. So we're just trying to get in, break even as soon as we can. If it runs, great. If it doesn't, then whatever. We're break even. It doesn't even matter, right?
No.
And then what we can do is we can throw an order on this one too for you guys.
I really like that because of the M15 flow. We got the break we've had of the previous structure.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Let's see. I covered the high a little bit just in case. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, good. We're in. And we're... Okay, so here's the thing. Actually, yeah, no, I'll leave this open. That's the whole point of the hedge, right? For this one, we'll go break even at like this low probably. Okay, so let's just see if we can get the price to do that. We'll go break even when we go break even on the first trade. Okay. If that even happens, we might take a loss. Oh, okay, we're break even. Okay, cool. Hey, this is actually a good sign, guys. What do you think? Now we've got to see if it's going to take this low out or not, but we're already running 2R. We're grabbing these lows, and it's 11 times this. I think this will run, so I'm gonna give it some room till like 1 p.m. and then maybe I'll close it. We got all this liquidity sitting here where our stop loss was before, right? So think we just took both sides of it. We can actually kind of like we have first-hand experience with taking technically the wrong side of this, where maybe someone was here and they're waiting to go break even up here and they just got stopped out, right? So again, that's why I was quick to break even on that. Oh, let's see. Oh,
yeah, the way he closes is super nice.
There we go. That is very nice. And now it's 1 p.m.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Do we hold it We're up 3.5 R. I think this low will go, but it's
me too.
We're far enough away from spread hours that we could hold it, or we can take half off. Whatever you guys want to do to manage it. I'm gonna slowly play through it. Time's ticking. You gotta. Okay, close 50%. Gabriel says. Oh God, it's pulling back. It's not good.
I'd be 80.
80. Okay.
No.
I think we gotta hold it now, guys. I may have mismanaged this a little bit. I'm sorry. I went a little bit too far. Let's see. Okay, there's spread hours. We're fine. Okay, if it comes back to this level, I will take 80% off. I hope it does. Okay, here's Asia. Let me just let it play out a little bit. Oh no. Okay, what do you think? Let's take 80 off here.
Well, the thing is, you are broad trend with the 4 hour. So cutting the trade, yeah, it's a good idea. But you are pro trend with the 4 hour, and you are far. Well, you're not that far away from the entry point to be break even. But
yeah, I don't know.
I would just jump to London and see what happens.
Okay, let's do it.
And
Nothing happens.
A huge drop, to be honest.
Okay, you know what? Let's let it play out. Let's see.
yeah.
Oh,
I like that one.
no. Oh man, it's one of these. Listen, it doesn't matter either way. We're up, right? Like it's. I'm pretty happy with it. There we go.
If we take the liquidity, do we partial out now?
We're at 4R. I would, right? Like this is Friday now.
Yeah.
We could hold it. Okay, why don't we take half off on this one? I'm okay with it.
Okay, that's...
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I won't compromise with everybody because I know some of you do it. I like closing full. You guys know that about me, but I will... I'll manage it the way you guys want a little bit.
Now what we're targeting on the H4, like the absolute low.
But you're also on the 4 hour demand zone, so price can.
Yeah. That's true. That's a good point.
I would just close it.
Well, I'm not gonna hold it. I'm not holding it through Friday anyway.
The week.
So yeah, like the weekend. So like by the time we get to like 11, I'm gonna close this guy out. Let's see. Like,
one question: Do you manage your stop loss? Like, do you move your stop loss?
No, I don't like doing that personally because again, it just pulls you out of the trade too early sometimes. Right.
Okay.
Unless it's really far away and like if I was like say I was swinging it or like holding it 3 days in or something, then yeah, I'd be like, okay, it won't even let me drag the thing. I can't even drag it. I was gonna say I'd trail it to somewhere here, right? Obviously, that's like the most obvious level that we would play it off of.
In
So
this
7:30. Okay, let's see. We could get one of those days where it just keeps running, right? Like, oh my god,
What's that news?
Yeah, but it's not showing up.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna close it because we would close that before news. Let's pretend we closed it at 8. Okay. Like let's be fair here because it doesn't matter how much it continue to run anyways. I mean, it could have been something like oh shit. It could have been something that was like, I'm trying to think of a news event that's unrestricted but high impact still. I don't know. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Kind of blanking. But either way, I think that was pretty good. What did we make on this one? Let's see. We did it right around here. We made about 6.5 R, guys, on that. Plus 4 R off of this. Wow. That was an outstanding session. So the patience paid off, right? I think we took 1 break even, 2 wins. Let's go take a look at our analytics on that. We definitely improved our strike rate, that's for sure. And listen, that's not even me. That's you guys are the ones calling out half these trades, right? So, good job. Yeah, 53%, 17%. I don't know what the net R is on that, actually. but
Like we did.
it's probably like
It
15.
depends on.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's
11.
this is kind of like my last week where it's like I would just, if I make like 7R like that or whatever it was, this 9R, just kind of stop for the rest of the week because there's a good chance you're going to give it back, just statistically, right? Like you don't need to keep hitting it. It's better just
Request
to
a payout
Yeah, request the payout, exactly.
and start all over again.
Yeah. Well, leave a buffer, right?
Yep.
Always leave a buffer. Easier for your psychology. Guys, good job. I think we did great this time.
Yeah, we did. We waited such a long time
I know.
for
It paid
at
off, though.
least. Yeah, it paid off though.
That was funny. All right, guys.
Hey,
well,
but
sorry, go ahead, Daniel. What were you gonna say?
well, waiting is the same because if you realize right now in the real market, there is nothing
Yeah.
to give. No opportunities. It's just last week. I think last week I took what? Let me see how many trades I took last week. It was like 1 or 2 trades. Well, one lost.
On GU and EU, right?
Yeah, GU and EU. One lost, one break even on the same day, and the next day I took a profit one. I caught it early.
Yeah, honestly, I made all my profit from NAS last week, so it's just been. But NAS is, I don't know, like you can, it has volatility even when it doesn't. I mean, I was playing like the ranges and stuff, and it's just, it's fun. But yeah. Thanks again for joining us, guys. I really appreciate everybody's input and everything on the trades we took. It's always fun. I feel like I learn stuff from it too, even though I'm kind of like teaching it. There's always stuff to learn, so it's a lot of fun for me too. I will get this recording uploaded if you guys want to rewatch it, whatever, within the next couple days. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. I think spring is on the 19th, so yeah, happy spring to everybody. Hope you guys enjoy it.